How's it going, guys? Xbox Jared here. So, ignore the flashing if there's a bunch of flashing on this fucking video. I just kind of gave up on my camera. I don't really give a fuck anymore, guys. You know, this is a small channel. You can't expect the best, lighting or sound or anything. But I still apologize for that because I know it's fucking annoying. But anyways, guys, this is a video that I've been hesitant to make because I know there could be that small chance that someone I know watches my videos. Not that I'm anything special, and I'm sure they don't, but I've always been hesitant to make this video simply because I don't know, man. Like I don't want to get into shit with people I used to know. Like I don't want to cause drama, and I don't really want to upset them either because the past is in the past. But yeah, most of the people I hung out with as a kid were just fucking dicks. I mean, they were bastards, man. They were bastards with daddy issues. That's all it was. Like, I grew up in Texas, and I can tell you guys, there's a lot of white trash here. A lot of white trash that, they murder their wives, their ex-wives, and shit like that, and end up on the news, and all kinds of trashy-ass people. And, I mean, mostly the kinds of people that just fucking run, you know what I mean? Who don't want the responsibility of taking care of their kids, and so they grow up to be bastards. And I was friends with those kinds of people. Um, I'm probably going to mention maybe just like 4 or 5 people on here, but I knew more than that. We'll see how it goes though. So I grew up in a place called Kingwood. This was sort of lower class slash middle class. It was a weird place because there were like rich kids and poor kids. It's one of those fucking weird white neighborhoods where it's like you get, I don't know, rednecks, stuck up white people. There's a few black people and some Mexicans, but it's just a very strange town. My high school, Kingwood High, which was known for the Kingwood Mustangs, cringe overload, just a bunch of stupid jocks and preps, who eventually do nothing with their lives, who become jaded, physical ed coaches. But anyways, so yeah, like the people I hung out with mostly, they were kind of like, you could tell they were somewhat like white trash, but they were like, I don't know, man. They were just fucking white kids, you know what I mean? A lot of them, they had divorced moms and dads, and my parents weren't divorced, but they never got along. Like my mom and dad, they probably should have gotten one. It's really unfortunate, honestly. How people stay together even when they're not happy in a relationship. But these kids that I hung out with, though, they obviously didn't have proper discipline from their parents. Uh, you could tell they just, they had that sort of, I don't know, like fuck everything attitude, that a bunch of teen angsty kids have, people without, proper discipline. I was one of those kids, I was one of those kids who thought I was cool because I was like, fuck the world kind of kids, I like goth music, bands like Korn, Static X, stuff like that, which are good bands, I won't deny that, but, there was this group of kids I hung out with in middle school. There was a kid named Bobby. There was a kid named Lee, and a kid named Mike. People called him Mike Bob. I don't know why, but these 3 kids, I mean, they were all fucking bastards. Like, they all came from broken homes, you know what I mean? Again, not like super poor. When I say broken homes, I guess I just mean like divorced families. They were all like, they had that same sort of attitude, like fuck everyone, antisocial. That's what happens when you don't have a dad. You become antisocial. Some kids of divorced families can turn out okay, but a lot of them don't, because again, they don't have that proper discipline. And this friend I had, Bobby, he was probably the most redneck out of all of them. He poor kid, his lips were so fucking huge. They're bigger than mine, and I got some fucking nigger lips. I'm gonna tell it for what it is, man. You guys can call me racist for saying that, but that's what it's called. It's fucking nigger lips. But this kid had some mega nigger lips on him, and he was white as hell too, which I thought was hilarious. But poor kid. Uh, I remember he was pretty good at drawing though, and it's a shame because a lot of these kids they grow up and they never really use their talent, or their talent just goes to waste. And it wouldn't surprise me if this kid was just fucking I don't know, maybe like working at some stupid like fucking like ITT Tech or some bullshit, fixing fucking speakers or some shit. But uh, he was okay. He was okay. He was kind of he was real hyper. We were all really hyper. We were all like on crack. Even though none of us really did drugs, not until later. Some of them started using like weed and stuff. But this kid Bobby was just he was really loud. Um, he was cool. Like he was funny. I mean, he could crack the jokes. He was a pretty funny dude, but he just had issues. You could tell he had problems in his life. And I just remember his stepdad was a giant dick, and every time I went there, I didn't even want to be there anymore because his fucking stepdad was such an asshole, and I felt sorry for him. I really did. That must be really weird having like a stepdad, like especially a really piece of shit stepdad that you have to go home to every day. That must suck. And I can see how that could make someone really hate the world. But Bobby, man, um, he got worse over the years. Like this kid got fucking worse. He never got help. I gave him a chance. We were even in a band together for a short while, but he never fucking showed up because I'm sure he was too busy, smoking weed, being a dumbass, smoking weed, doing stupid shit. I don't know what he was doing really, but the guy's a loser, and I could sense that, so I decided just to drop him off. That's what you got to do when you're around the wrong kinds of people, guys. You can't be around them. Being around negative energy and shit it'll destroy you. But anyways, so yeah, I stopped talking to Bobby like in my early 20s. I really should have stopped talking to him earlier than that, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just feel sorry for your friends, you know what I mean? You feel sorry for them, and so you just stay with them hoping they'll change, but they never do. But anyways, so Bobby had a friend named Lee that I hung out with sometimes. Lee was a very, very awkward person. He was just, I think he was OCD or something, but he was just very, very awkward. And he would try to put on the tough guy attitude, I think, just because, he wanted to feel like he was in control. Like he had some kind of serious problems. I honestly don't even really know. I think he was probably the most seriously fucked up friend I had. Like he just I don't know, man. He was just I felt sorry for him. Like I really did. I think he had some serious daddy issues or some shit. Probably went beyond that, but I just remember whenever I went to his house, we would just ride bikes, and he never really talked much. You could just tell he was a really troubled kid, and he got into smoking weed a lot, and probably other shit too. A lot of my friends, they went to a different high school than me as well, a place called Quest, which was basically like high school for pregnant girls and drug addicts. So I did not want to be there. And instead, I just went to high school with a bunch of fucking jocks, which probably wasn't that much better, but I'm still glad I didn't go to Quest. I mean, just the name Quest, that's just, what kind of fucking high school is named Quest? I mean, really, that's just weird. But anyways, so yeah, Lee, he turned into a dick. Like you could tell, he became a really sad, miserable person. And I hope he's doing okay. Really, I do, because I feel sorry for the kid. He actually like friend requested me on Facebook and then never said anything to me. Don't you hate it when people do that? It's like, why did you send me a fucking friend request, you asshole, if you're not even gonna fucking talk to me? I mean, really, how much of a prick do you have to be to do something like that? But you know what, man? It is what it is. I'm not sweating it. You know, I wish both Bobby and Lee all the best. Really, I do. You know, I don't hold grudges or anything like that, but it's really sad what, you know, being a bastard can do to you, really. I mean, even though my dad's not perfect, I'm still glad I had him around. You know, he helped discipline me and make me into a somewhat of a good kid, anyways. But so there's this one other kid, and I didn't really hang around him that much outside of school. His name was Mike. They called him Mike Bob. He was just kind of really white. I mean, he was like painfully white, chubby kid. And it's funny because one good memory I have, which is a really funny memory, is one time we all decided to be badasses, and we all wore our little fishnets to school that you got from like Hot Topic or some shit. You know, those stupid fucking pantyhose that you put on your arms. We thought we were like highballing with that shit, and we thought we were so badass. We all wore it one day because we wanted to be, you know, we wanted to be the fucking cool kids. So we were all just standing there, you know, outside with our women's pantyhose on our arms, like, yeah, bitch, what's up, man? We're fucking doing this, you know, like. I think we got in trouble too. I think I got in trouble because I was wearing a red tie, which is hilarious. I guess, you know, gang members wear red ties. I don't know, the conservative gang maybe, but anyways, yeah, this kid had problems too. We could tell he had social problems. He seemed like a troubled kid, and for whatever reason, you know, my stupid ass, I hung around the most troubled kids, like the most, you know, daddy issues. I know I keep saying that shit, like just antisocial kinds of kids, and it got me into trouble. And it was my own fault too for doing that. You know, I guess it's because I was somewhat of a troubled kid too. That's why, you know, that's why I guess I connected to them in some way. I don't think I was as bad off as they were, but I had problems of my own. I'm not going to deny that. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I was Mr. fucking perfect, you know, like I had everything right going on in my life, because I sure as hell didn't. But thankfully, I came out okay. You know, I may not be rich. You know, people make fun of me for being a little bit fat, for having a messy room. I don't give a fuck about either of those things. What matters most to me is I'm not a fucking elitist tool bag prick. I thank God every day for that. You know, that I didn't turn out to be a fucking asshole like some of these kids. I mean, really, dude, they sold their soul, man. Never sell your soul, dude. Like, I'm telling you, it isn't worth it, guys. You're never gonna be happy. These friends that I had, they're gonna live miserable lives. They're probably gonna die in their 40s. And I hate to say that, and I hate to, you know, make those kinds of assertions, but really, if you do the math, people like that, they don't really have much of a future. And it's sad. It's really sad because, you know, these kids that I hung out with, they weren't entirely bad kids, you know. They were funny, you know, like I was saying with Bobby, you know, they had a sense of humor. You know, they could be nice when they wanted to, you know, they had a soul. It was just a tainted soul. And look, I don't want to get all religious on you guys because I know a lot of you guys don't like that, and that's understandable. But when you don't have a dad, I'm just telling you guys this, you know, it's Satan. He becomes your dad. Satan becomes your dad, and he knows that too. He knows he can lead people like that down a wrong path, and he sure enough did too. You know, doing drugs, just, you know, being antisocial too. It's such a terrible thing. And it fucks kids up. It really does, man. When you just seclude yourself from the world, it will just suck your soul away. And I know that all too well because I experienced that too. So this video is kind of like a warning. I had some other friends too before that though, like before middle school. I didn't have a lot of friends though, man. Like I don't know. I was sort of a shy kid, especially when I was real small. You know, I'd hang out with my sister sometimes. She stayed in her room a lot, but sometimes we'd like play video games together. And you know, I had a few other guys, but it wasn't much. There was this one kid though. His name was AJ, which when you're a little kid, everyone has that friend, you know, with the abbreviation name like RJ, AJ, you know, JR. I don't know. something with J in it. And they're all dicks. I'm just kidding. But this kid, I mean, he was just, oh my lord, like he was so hyper. I felt so bad for his parents, and you could tell. I think he drove them both crazy. Unfortunately, his dad passed away from cancer. I felt bad about that for him. Um, but like he was just, oh my god, this kid. Like I don't know, if his parents fed him sugar for breakfast every day, but I think he had some kind of learning problem. Like I don't know, ADD. Even though I don't really believe in that stuff, I think he just, I don't know, man. I think he just had way too much energy. But he was okay. Like he was funny, and we'd goof off together. But he had sort of a temper. I think he got it from his mom. His mom was fucking crazy, and I'm just gonna say this. You know, that both his parents were from fucking Chicago, and some of the scummiest people live there, dude. Chicago and all places around there, Washington, you know, New York, New Jersey. It's all just a rat-infested wasteland. It's a disgusting place, man. Like if you don't live in the States, never come visit the North. Like if you're gonna visit America, come to the South, or maybe like you know the Northwest, like Virginia, Wyoming. You know, beautiful places like that, Montana. But do not visit places like New York. It's just a sad wasteland. And you know, people like that, they just all they care about is money. All they care about is just you know fucking yeah, you know how much stuff you have, crap like that. It's a shallow place. It's a sick shallow place. But I eventually stopped hanging out with AJ when I started hanging out with the other kids. You know, the cool kids. I wanted to be with the cool kids, even though they weren't that cool. You know, they just had problems, man. But it is what it is. It's good to have friends, you know, even if they are a little weird. It's good to have friends. I had another friend too, and this kid was, he was a big redneck. Like his name was Trey, and that should say enough right there. If your name is Trey, you're automatically a fucking redneck. But from what I understand, his dad was a fucking loser, a drug addict. His mom was, God bless her. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, Trey, he could tell he had problems, man. You know, not having a dad around, it can really affect you. I'm telling you guys this. It can really affect you. And, you know, it sucks. It sucks when you don't have a dad. And it sucks that so many kids come from divorced homes, man. Like, really, it's become a huge problem. And it's just like these families are destroying their own kids, and it makes me sick. You know, when you're like a you know a 9-year-old boy, you have a lot of questions, and you have no one to go to, and you have no direction when you don't have that father figure. I'm telling you guys, it will fuck you up. And this kid Trey, you know, I could tell he had problems, but he was a cool kid. I mean, he was okay kid. He was funny. We'd goof off together, like with AJ. You know, we were just two goofs. I'd sometimes spend the night at his house, and one time, me and him, I swear to God, like, I've never done anything with a guy, but his sister thought we were so gay because she walked in on us and we were like fucking laughing and having a pillow fight in our underwear, which I will admit probably did look extremely fucking gay. But ever since then, his sister thought we were just like two queers, and I don't really blame her, but I just thought that was funny, man. I'm sure she probably still thinks I'm gay to this day, but that's all right, man. It is what it is, you know. I don't really give a fuck, you know. I don't care what people think about me, dude. It's all good. I'm just enjoying life, you know what I mean? But one other friend that I did have, actually, you know what? That's pretty much it. Like there were a few other people that I hanged out with a little bit. Like my friend Trey, he had some redneck friends on the block, you know, and we'd sometimes fuck around, but they were just like super redneck. There was a kid named Gary. I mean, not to be mean, but he looked inbred, you know, like his parents were maybe like, you know, fucking brother and sister. This kid was, you know, the definition of a redneck. He was cool though. I mean, he could ride BMX really good. You know, he could do crazy shit off the diving board. I thought he was a cool kid. He could roller skate or rollerblade or whatever. He was a pretty fucking cool kid. But yeah, you know, a lot of rednecks. They just I never really connected to a lot of them. I guess you know what I mean. I was one of those white kids where like maybe I'm somewhat of a redneck. Maybe I'm somewhat of one. Like, I don't know. I never really connected to those kinds of people though, and that's why I stopped hanging out with Trey. But like, really, dude, I don't have a problem with rednecks. It's just, I guess it's just not part of my culture. You know, it's not what I grew up with. But they're cool people. I mean, they really are. A lot of them are cool people. A lot of them get judged, I guess, for being racist, but not all of them are. I can tell you guys that. Some of them are. Some of them definitely are, but not all of them. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. There was one kid though that I didn't mention who really, this kid, I'd say that he turned out the worst. He got addicted to meth. His name's Derek. I made a video about him once. I could tell this kid had no future. Even when I was in high school, like even when I was in middle school, I could tell this kid was going down a really bad road. And I even warned him one time. I don't know if I'm sure he didn't really listen to me, but I warned him. I said, man, you're going down the wrong path. And sure enough, he did. And he got addicted to meth. We had a run-in. I don't know what was going down, but we were supposed to hang out one day, and he showed up to my house high on fucking meth, out of his mind. And the poor kid, he just, you know, meth will fuck you up like nothing else, dude. And so he wouldn't leave our house, and he was acting really strange. So unfortunately, we had to call the cops. I really like that's one thing in my life that I've done that I really, really do feel bad about because, you know, I used to hang out with this kid, but at the same time, you know, I don't think I really had another choice. He was acting really, really crazy and scaring the fuck out of me and my parents. He would not leave, and he had a gun. So we were just like, okay, yeah, you know, he's leaving us no choice here. I think he just wanted us to go on a drug raid together or some stupid bullshit, which I was not going to get myself mixed up in. And, you know, that really pissed me off that he tried to bring me into that, especially showing up at my own house, you know, where my parents live. It's just, it's fucking crazy, dude. But, you know, I do wish him all the best. I don't know if he's still in prison. I would hope not. He probably got bailed out by his mom. I mean, he had friends that probably bailed him out, but um, all I can say was after that happened, I was a little bit paranoid. I didn't know if he was going to come back here and, you know, fuck some shit up. But I knew Derek in my heart. I knew he was still a good kid. You know, you can still be a good kid and make some mistakes in your life. And, you know, it sucks that there's shitty people out there who don't know that, who judge people just because maybe they are addicted to drugs. And all I can tell you guys is that is fucked up to do something like that because sometimes, you know, you can still be a good kid and make mistakes. Again, like what I was saying, you know, if you don't have a father, if you don't have someone to really give you good direction in life, it can really, really, you know, make life 10 times more difficult. And yeah, it's just really not fair. It really isn't. Life is a bitch, man. Life is not fair. And I'll be the first person to tell you that. Some people really have it worse than others. But, you know, guys, if you're watching this and you have, you know, problems in your life, whether it's with daddy issues or whatever, all I can tell you is, man, just hang in there. It gets better. I know some of you guys may think, you know, life is always going to suck. But guys, listen, man, like, if you just hang in there and you just, you know, fight the good fight, things will eventually come your way. Maybe when you least expect. I know for me, you know, I've had a wonderful life. I really have. I don't have to work. I live with my parents. I get to play video games. You know, I may not be in a relationship with a girl, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm still having fun living my life. And it's funny how people, you know, how they judge me because of that or how they, you know, get in my face about it. It's just like, dude, fuck you, man. I'm just living my life. So what? if I don't live my life like yours. You know what I mean? So don't worry about people who judge you as well. Don't worry about the haters. Haters just come and go. You know, they all just come and go. Um, it is what it is, man. But anyways, guys, this video is pretty long. But I just thought I'd share this shit with you. You know what I mean? I just like shooting the shit on YouTube. I made a video too about losers I played Magic the Gathering with. So I thought I'd just make another video about just kids I used to fucking hang out with, you know, who were losers, but I was kind of a loser myself for even hanging out with them, you know what I mean? I should have just, honestly, I should have just hung around people who weren't like them. But again, you know, when you get older, it's like a lot of times you want to be the fucking cool kid, you know what I mean? You want to be the kid who hangs out with the kids who wear black and shit like that, or at least that was me anyways, but not necessarily like goth kids, but you know, kids with the leather jackets, like if you're into punk rock, you know, the kids with the mohawk, or the metalheads, you know, people like metalheads. Metalheads are still around, that's still relevant, isn't it? Um, but you know, trends come and go, and we were just trendy idiots, you know, trying to look cool with women's lingerie on our arms. We were just trendy morons. You know, it's just labels are stupid. Labels, whatever label it is, you know, metalhead, punk rocker, just be you. You know, that's all you have to do in this life is just be you. Don't try to be anything you're not. And a lot of people I hung out with, I think they were trying to be something that they really weren't. So that's something else to think about, guys. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this long video I made. Really, I do wish the best for these people that I talked about. I know the title, you know, may make it sound like I'm trying to be mean, but really, man, it is what it is. But anyways, I think I've said enough. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.